Question asker says, I was told $40,000 a year salary over the phone, and then during the interview, they changed it to $8 an hour. I have an engineering degree. They literally only wanted to hire me for a single project. I asked them if they could live on $8 an hour. And this was on R anti-work. It's a new subreddit for me to pull from, but it's a good one. Question asker says, what? Okay, so I got an engineering degree and I got a phone call for a $40,000 a year salary job. I thought, all right, cool, finally got something. Get to the interview today, and during the interview, they said it's a contract that starts at $8 an hour for 9 months. And then after that, they may consider the $40,000 a year salaried. They slipped up because before discussing the pay, they were telling me about a project that expected to last 8, maybe 9 months. 15 minutes later, they told me it was a contract instead. I asked, so is the contract only because of that project? The two guys interviewing me looked at each other, and after about 2 seconds of silence, one of them says, no, in a very off-putting way. No. I asked them, okay, so if I hired you for $8 an hour right now to work at my company, could you live off of that? I'm worth $40,000 a year, buddy. You're worth more than that, but we'll get to that later. I have experience, knowledge, and skills. You're paying me for those things, not just the work that needs to be done. That's not a negotiation. The older guy snapped back at me, look, son, I started off at $2 an hour watching shit off of chicken eggs. And I cut him off here and snapped back. So is me designing for your company worth only $6 more than washing shit off chicken eggs? I was told to leave and that I wasn't welcome on company property anymore. I'm so effing tired. Wife makes roughly $20,000 a year as a teacher, and the best I can find as an engineer is $8 an hour. We can't afford anything. We both agreed never to have kids because of how expensive things are. Nothing pays anything. What the F are we even supposed to do? What the F are we even living for at this point? Getting on a bit of a mini rant here, but realtor told mother-in-law her mobile home, trailer home, is worth $250,000, and they want to pay $45,000 as a down payment. Mother-in-law won't budge because she doesn't believe her daughter makes so little, even after we showed her this pay stub. Cheapest apartment near us is roughly $1,400 a month in rent, and it looks like a crack house, TBH. I'm so frustrated at everything right now. I'm actually considering working at Burger King because they started off at $9 an hour here. What use was all these thousands of dollars of loans if the best I can do is fast food? Okay, lots of things to unpack here. First of all, what area are you living in where $40,000 is a decent salary for an engineer, $27,000 is a teacher's salary, and cost for rent is $1,400. That is insanity. I mean, like starting salaries in San Antonio, for example, $60,000 minimum for engineers, and $50,000 to $55,000 for teachers. That's what we're experiencing here. I did all the numbers whenever Maddie was applying for jobs for schools. It was like 50 to 55 to 58 if you had a master's. Lots of options for teachers, and your wife is making $27,000 a year as a teacher. I mean, even without a master's, you should be making more than that relative to the cost of living and the cost of apartments near you. And for you as an engineer, I mean, $40,000 is low, and $8 an hour, that's a freaking joke. That's an absolute joke, and no engineer with experience should even ever consider in the US taking a contract like that. Like that's just garbage. So if this story is real, because this story was tagged, maybe fake, but we like it. If this story is real, good on you for not wanting to associate with that company. I mean, I would have been a little bit more professional in the interview, but then again, I mean, you're not going to ever want to talk to or work with or do anything with these people ever again, so doesn't really matter that much to me. But oh my gosh, like this is insanity. If I were you, I don't know anything about the mobile home bit, but I think you're just saying that to give me context. Avoid the mobile home, avoid the area that you're in, and start looking at other areas that have a better cost of living to salary ratio. There was actually an article that just came out, cost of living to salary ratio. Cities in the US. So the fool.com, so I'm guessing this is the Motley Fool, It's the ascent. So the 10 most affordable cities with high salaries and low cost of living. Here's a couple cities for you to consider for most affordable cities. Cedar Park, Texas. Where is Cedar Park, Texas? It looks like it's a suburb of Austin. Okay. Midland, Texas. Ogden, Utah. Raleigh, North Carolina. Provo, Utah. Des Moines, Iowa. Austin, Texas. That's interesting. Minneapolis, Minnesota. St. Paul, Minnesota. Winchester, Virginia. So the average income to expense ratio in Cedar Park is 1.384. So the average cost of living is $58,000 a year, and the median household income in that city is $80,000. So do some research. Are there any of these? Look at the rankings of cities with incomes to cost of living, and consider looking at cities near you that might, or areas near you where you can have a little better options. But dude, this is insane. I mean, again, I understand why people think this story is not real, but honestly, I've heard worse stories before about people's experiences trying to get jobs. So if it's real, sorry about that. That's ridiculous. God, that's insane. But I wish you the best of luck. Look at different cost of living areas, and experienced engineers, you should be making over the median cost of the median income in your area. So, use it as a starting point. But goodness. Oh my goodness. I would look at like Glassdoor and other resources to see what engineers should be making in your area as a starting point, and put something around that range as your requirement when applying for jobs, because that'll at least help save you from some of these crazy conversations, because $40,000 is low. That's low.
I'm not complaining. My thoughts get complicated. I cannot explain in lameness. Never losing focus because I ain't chasing payments. Still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries. Thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify. They put me on the station.